guys, welcome to my channel. So I'm going to play you guys this community meeting that I found. This was from August 12th, which is yesterday. It's a meeting about Kiely Rodni. So I'm going to play this, and then I think I'm going to do a separate video where I'm going to try to pick out all the clips of the friends talking. So be looking for that after this. I want to try to just have a good compilation of what all the friends say. You got Magdalene, you got Sammy, you have Jagger, you have that Katie. So I'm going to try to find all of them and do a compilation of that. So that'll be after this. I think I'll do that on a separate video. Okay, so here's the community meeting. I think it's important to watch because it does, tell you where they're at in the investigation and different things that they've done, different things to look for and stuff like that. Okay, here it is.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Angela Musalam. I'm the Public Information Officer for the Placer County Sheriff's Office. I want to thank everybody here for joining us tonight. I also want to thank the Rec Center for allowing us to use their facilities during this extremely challenging time. We'd also like to thank Nevada County Supervisor Hardy Bullock for being with us here tonight. This is a joint incident, a unified incident search for Kiely Rodni, and so we're extremely grateful to be working with multiple agencies, including the Nevada County Sheriff's Office, the Federal Bureau of Investigations, the California Highway Patrol, and the Truckee Police Department. I'd like to now introduce our Placer County Sheriff, Wayne Wu, for a few words.
Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here tonight. On behalf of Sheriff Moon from Nevada County, we can't thank you enough. The Tahoe Truckee community is a very close-knit, special place, and I think it's evident what a special community this is with the outpouring of support that we've received thus far in our search to find Kiely. When this started, Sheriff Moon and I both dedicated every resource possible that we had at our disposal to try to find Kiely, and we will continue to do so. In my 32-year law enforcement career, I can honestly say I have never seen the amount of resources poured into a single investigation like came into this community and has been searching here since last weekend. I think today we eclipsed over 5,000 man-hours of investigative work and search and rescue in order to try to find Kiely and make sure we bring her home. So thank you so much for being here. We're going to need this community's help moving forward. We're going to need your support. The family's going to need your support. And I can assure you on behalf of Sheriff Moon and I, we will continue to dedicate the resources at our disposal to get to the bottom of this and try to bring Kiely home. So I want to thank all of our partners that have helped us out thus far, from state, federal, and local agencies. It's just been amazing. So with that, I'll turn it over back to Angela, and thank you for being here tonight. We really appreciate your support.
I'd like to now introduce Behavioral Health Director Phoebe Bell for a few words.
Hi, all. I'm sorry that we have to be here together today, and as always, I'm glad that we are together, and that is what we do best in this community, wrapping around each other. And to that end, I know we're here because most of all, we want information. We desperately want information, and we want to help. We desperately want to help. But I just want to remind you all that part of helping is taking care of yourselves and each other. And this is a really trying time. It's incredibly anxiety-provoking, a lot of fear, grief, anxiety, and we really need to do self-care, do care for each other. I want to let you know about some resources that are out there if you need them. A great variety of community partners have come together to make sure that we have mental health support on site here at the Rec Center every day from 10 to 4. Drop by anytime, tell somebody, can I have a 5-minute walk with you? I just need to vent for a minute. Whatever you need to do, use that resource. It's there for all of you, for all of us. In addition, there's some resource sheets with information about crisis lines and other sources of support you can use. And then also Gateway Mountain Center is opening their teen center every afternoon for anybody that wants to drop by, any young people that want to drop by. We are doing a phenomenal job of caring for each other, but it's so critical. It's how we're going to get through this, is leaning into each other and leaning into the love we all feel for Kiely and for each other. So take care, one and all.
I'd like to turn it over next to our Placer County Sheriff's Lieutenant Josh Barnhart. He will be discussing more on the investigation thus far.
Good evening, everyone. I'm currently assigned to investigations as a lieutenant in our main office in Auburn. And like the sheriff said, the outpouring of support from the community and from law enforcement agencies has just been amazing to watch. And I just want to tell the family again that we're working very hard for you. We've brought the family in, we've shown them what we're doing, and hopefully they have been able to see the extent to which law enforcement and our assistance has gone to this point with the search and rescue effort, with the investigations effort, and all of the agencies involved in this is just amazing. We've had to tell detectives, no, you're done for the day, you need to go home, and they've been stubborn, and they've been staying longer, working on very little sleep. Just 3 points to talk about tonight. We are continuing to collect media from every source, video, especially photos. We've even asked attendees of the party to come in that were willing to bring their phone so that we could use the data from their phones for the investigation. We've been working the extensive amount of tips that have come in, and I urge everyone to continue that effort. Make sure that you're, anything that comes up that you think of, please call that tip line. And again, you can remain anonymous if you desire. Our detectives, including the FBI, have been going door to door, collecting data, media as well, video. They've been going to residences, collecting Ring camera video, anything that they can, gas stations. We've been asked, what about cameras at intersections, cameras here? Everything we're taking into consideration at this point, and we're collecting. I'll just end with 12:33 a.m. was the last known time that we have for Kiely. Anything after that, we have not been able to find. And so please, again, we urge, we beg you that if you were there, you know something, please come forward and give us that information so we can continue our investigation past 12:33. Thank you.
Next, you'll be hearing from Nevada County Sergeant Hack. He's been in charge of the search and rescue effort.
I want to thank everybody for being here today. So far in our search and rescue effort, we have over 16 agencies that have worked with us. We have in the field today, again, over 100 volunteers searching. We are utilizing resources from the local, state, and federal level to help us with the search. Equipment-wise, we are searching with motorcycles, 4x4s. We are using aircraft from CHP, from Washoe County, from Placer County, and from the Office of Emergency Services. Since I talked to you yesterday, we have doubled the amount of man hours. Yesterday we were at 1,500 hours, and we are now at about 3,500 hours dedicated by volunteers in the search effort. We have partners from throughout the state who are cooperating with us remotely to assist with our mapping and our search and rescue effort. Our search area has extended as far north as Searville. To the east, we've reached all the way to Verdi. We've gone south of I-80, below Truckee, and we've reached beyond Jackson Meadows Reservoir to the west. It's a very large area, and our Our searchers have been putting a lot of hours in, and they're dedicated to assisting us in this search effort. That's all I have for you now. Thank you.
Nevada County Sheriff's Captain Sam Brown and Placer County Sheriff's Captain Troy Sander would like to say a few words.
Good evening, and before I get into too much, I really just want to thank our partners with the Placer County Sheriff's Office. Excuse me. Being in unified command has amplified our abilities drastically, and they bring a lot to the table. We also have the Truckee Police Department, CHP, every federal, state. We've even had the Air Force. There's too many people to thank, and too many things that have gone on. This list would go on and on and on. Before I say anything, really, I guess I'm more apologetic that it's a regurgitation of all the things that we've been saying, we've been doing. We're expanding. We're working pretty hard. Our folks are tired. We've had people searching from all sorts of fashions. We had people swimming in the water today, looking, searching. I've been doing this for a long time, and I've never seen an effort as large as this. I don't have as much time on as Sheriff Wu, but have a good solid 10 years in search and rescue. Multiple day searches, all kinds of things, and I've never seen a case like this, and it is really hard to face the family and not really have good answers for you guys. So we're trying our best. Our people are exhausted, they're tired, but they're showing up every day, putting a smile on their face, and really doing the best they can. What I am really appreciative of is the community support and the things that everybody's bringing to the table. We created a mapping system from some of our SAR folks. CalTopo is a huge tool that we use, and it's allowing the citizens in the area and people who are coming from way out of the area as well, because I've talked to people in the parking lot that have come from out of state and in different various areas, to be able to provide some of the tracks and things that they're doing within the area, and allows us to create more mapping and show more detail and more information. And that's what we're lacking right now, is more information. And although we can't necessarily direct those sources and provide certain things, it gives us more information and more direction of where to go or where not to go. And those are all really important. And so if you haven't been by the family's trailer in the parking lot, we do have a system set up where you can help collect your tracks as well, and we can overlay those with the tracks that we've done, and that's a huge help. I've been on lots of searches where it's not us that finds somebody. Sometimes it's other people that are out in the community that come across something, and they're able to report it to us and help bring the family something, and hopefully something positive. And we are working extremely hard for that. I know from Sheriff Moon, I've talked to her, she's unable to even speak at the moment due to some laryngitis and things like that, and I told her I'd come up here and talk on her behalf. 100% invested in this, and she wants nothing but the best, and I know if she could come up here and talk, she'd be saying all the same things, probably a little more eloquently than I can. We have support from our district supervisors, our partners and friends, Truckee PD, CHP, everything that you can think of. I've worked with Cal OES numerous times, and they're putting no stops to the efforts and energies, as well as our CEO who has offered up resources and things like that to help assist with moving on. When I was in the parking lot yesterday, and I know I'm going long, so I apologize, I think it was yesterday, somebody came up and said they were nervous to come and talk to us, and they were uncomfortable. And I looked at them, I said, well, why? I'm a person, you can come talk to me, and I understand the uniform thing. I have 2 kids, they're young. I'm a wrestling coach down in Grass Valley. I talk to kids all day long. I hang out with kids. I've had kids call me with problems and troubles and struggles outside of the law enforcement realm. I get that media has been pretty harsh on law enforcement. We feel greatly supported in Nevada County, and I know Placer County feels the same. The only thing I would say is I would encourage kids to come up, engage us, talk to us. You don't even have to talk about what's going on, but maybe that leads into something you might know, something you feel comfortable about. And just, I would encourage you to share and be forthcoming, because we need information. We're getting to the point where I don't know how to move forward without more information. And the family's been great. We appreciate you guys, and thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Troy Sander, Placer Sheriff, on behalf of Sheriff Wu and Under Sheriff Wright. I We feel the pain, and we see the faces. Everything you feel as parents, everything you're going through as friends and family, we also feel it with you. We have one mission, we have one team, and we have one cause. And we're not gonna stop. We're gonna keep going forward. We have a great working relationship with our partners, Truckee PD, CHP, FBI, Nevada County Sheriff's Office. I couldn't ask for a better group of people. We were gonna keep the pedal to the metal. And as I said yesterday to everybody that's out there, if you have to ask yourself the question, should you come forward with some information, you've already answered it. No piece of information is too small. It matters to us, it matters to the family, it matters to the cause. So with that, I close by saying, stay optimistic. Don't let it beat you. You gotta fight through it. We're fighting for you. You gotta stay optimistic. This community is great. Be with this family, have their back. Thank you.
We'd like to now open up the portion of this meeting to Q&A, and we will direct questions to the appropriate individual to answer.
Yeah, I'll answer that. The question, just in case, I don't know if it's relating over the other forums, but was whether we're telling people to stay out of an area or anything like that. There have been times throughout the search, like the boat ramp, we asked people to stay out of and we shut it down for a while and things of that nature. We don't have anything that's shut down at this moment. We would do that from time to time if there's something that we're concerned about for evidentiary value. What I would caution people on that are civilian citizens and don't have training and don't know necessarily the types of things we're looking for and the types of things that could get damaged by it, I just caution people to be really careful. A footprint could become important. A tire track could become important. So the more foot traffic and things like that, we lose some of that. But at this point, I mean, honestly, we're looking for a car. We're looking for Kiely, potentially a phone. I'm not telling anybody to stay out of any area or anything like that. But I just want people to just be careful and conscious of what they're walking into and seeing.
So just so we can understand, you have a two-part question. The first part is, what are we doing to search beyond this area, and why have we not yet issued an Amber Alert?
I understand why the Amber Alert hasn't been
Okay,
issued.
I know. I just want to break it down. Okay.
First part you have to craft.
Sure, okay.
In regards to where do you start searching? When you're in the search world, you have a area that you're going to search based on clues and objectives and ideas of where something is. And in this case, we're really focused on the point last seen because that's the last point that we know. What you're really starting to focus on, and you heard Sergeant Hack talk about the expansion and the amount that goes on, you're starting to get into a thing where you're not really searching like that area. You're now traveling roads and looking for, like, say, the car. And there are tools out there that are looking for the car. Law enforcement has all been notified of the car. BOLOs have reached all over the place to be on the lookout for the car. We have people from the UK that are reporting on this case. I would say that if not the entire country, the entire world has had some tip on this case. The car is the easier target to locate, obviously, because it's larger, right? We would expect that we'd be able to find the car. Again, where I stood up here and apologized, I wish I could come and say that we found it. When you talk about expansion and you're going to send people on countless days and hours, but just to search anywhere randomly with no cause, that's just not a responsible thing to do, and it doesn't give us any goals of where we're going. So I will say that there's tools out there, there's pieces in place to try to locate the vehicle, and as well as Kiely, and there's still in the background lots of investigation that's going on with what Lieutenant Barnhart was talking about in the investigative world that hopefully will lead us to some clues and things like that. But to honestly just say, hey, where do you search? We are looking at, say, Stampede Lake, Boca Lake, but then where do you stop? Do you look at the bottom of Tahoe? Do you look at wherever? And those aren't things that we can do. I mean, we are just people, just like everybody in this room, and we have the capability of tapping into certain systems and things that give us more resources to do things. But at the same point, if you're thinking about it, we're probably sitting around the table talking about it and how do we do this, and they're exactly things like that. As far as the Amber Alert, as late as today, we're still attempting to push that system through, have that go out. But I'd still even remind people that like it is out. Everybody knows. We're trying to put it out as much as possible. I know it's a bone of contention. We don't control the system, but we're trying to justify as much as possible the reasons of why we believe that it should be in the system. And we agree with you guys. There's none of us that are disagreeing with you guys, but we're trying to work within a system that's designed that we don't control. And so we're doing our best to navigate that world.
So your question is how a car was parked and what cars were near it? Well, we're trying to piece all that together. We have digital evidence we're trying to recover from all the young kids that were at this party. So that question is on a list of about 1,000 others that we have that are probably equally all in your mind. As my partner said just a minute ago, if you think about it, we've thought about it, right? But we want those things shared. So when we piece those pieces together and they draw to conclusion points, we can put conclusion points together to draw inferences about what really happened. And right now, it's tough for us because we don't have a lot to go off of. So we appreciate your question, but it's an ongoing investigation and we're still trying to put all that data together. So thank you.
Let's go to the grandfather and then we'll come to you, ma'am.
I came back from Hirschdale the other day and the Caltrans sign beyond the bug station was turned off. It was blank. Why?
So Eric Agate, California Animal Patrol Trucking Commander. So the CMS boards are activated when Amber Alert is activated. That's the changeable message sign they're speaking of. So since the criteria for Amber Alert has not been met, the message boards won't be activated.
Who's responsible for establishing these criteria?
California law determine the criteria for when Amber Alert and when it's issued.
What a waste of an asset. Yeah. Yes, here.
We're going to move on to this young lady here in the third row. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hi, I'm Mom. I don't.
Lindsay, do you want to stand up?
Hi. Yeah, this Amber Alert thing, you guys. It was frustrating. I was in. I've seen these guys' faces a lot. We were in there, we were talking about the Amber Alert, we were talking about all of these things. There's nobody standing behind me right now that doesn't agree that the Amber Alert should have already been issued immediately. So they share all of our frustration with that. And so I know that it's this point and it's this question, and it doesn't seem right, and so many times in life, things just don't seem fair, and there's a lot right now that doesn't seem fair, but sticking on something that doesn't seem fair and continuing to just, to not move forward isn't helpful either. So at this point, what I'm thinking, if we all feel this way and they feel this way, there may be other people who feel this way too, and so maybe we can use this opportunity to, rather than keep on asking these guys, we can go to our state legislatures, we can do things that might be actually more helpful and more effective in changing that, even if it doesn't change it today, even if it doesn't change it tomorrow or for Kiely at all. Maybe it could change it, for someone else, and that can be a positive effect too. But please understand that the lack of any new information, the lack of any movement forward with this case is not for a lack of resources, it's not for a lack of want, it's not for a lack of determination from everyone who I'm looking at, from everyone who stands behind me, and from everyone who stands behind them. So let's work together and let's focus on asking questions that will lead to positive results instead of focusing on questions that are, I'm losing it now. I have a lot of, I don't have a lot of blood sugar, and so it just,
I think the most appropriate answer, sir, to answer your question is to start with your local representative and your board of supervisors and respectfully bring these issues forward to them and maybe seek some advice from them as to how you would proceed in something like this. So I think that probably is your best bet. Thank you.
In search and rescue, we have numerous resources in relation to canine, and they all have a different typing. So we use different types of dogs for different situations. And thus far in our investigation, we've been using what are called area C2 dogs. And those are dogs that search an area for a person. And those are the type of dogs we have. We haven't been able to establish a trail to put a bloodhound on at this point.
Can I say simply yes to all of the above? We have reached out to those law enforcement agencies, and they've been working with us. Even in specific instances where we gain some information, we can coordinate and ask them to go check this lead. So yes, we've been working with them. I hope that answers your question.
Mine's just a clarifying question. I was at the trailer earlier today, and I did see the search area map, and it did say to stay out of this area. So I'm just wanting to clarify based on what was on the map today, and is that going to be enforced tomorrow, just for people who just want to help?
So initially we had communicated with the private search folks to some areas that we were determining were high likelihood for evidence. And our search and rescue volunteers go through extensive training on recognizing clues, protecting evidence, so that a small footprint or something that can be the single thing that turns the tide in a search. So we initially were asking for some particular areas for private searchers to stay out of. We have since rescinded that. And the only place that we are based out of and that we're asking folks to stay out of is our ICP.
And for those, okay. Incident command post for anybody who didn't hear.
Complex question for sure, right? Because anytime you use a phone, there's some sort of a trail or message. I think when we are talking about things like this, and we're talking about needing people to be brave and step up and stand tall when maybe something has gone wrong. But I understand what you're talking about, because a lack of trust and fear and the things that go on. I don't know that you could ever guarantee 100% anonymity of anything. However, what I can say is that treating an individual who provides a tip that puts them into danger is going to be treated extremely significantly from law enforcement in protecting that individual. And if there's concerns or true, like, hey, how do I completely stay anonymous? There'll be some more information later today about a new tip line that will be coming out through an email system, and somebody could truly create email address at the library and send an email from that from somewhere and things of that nature. But we live in a digital world that has lots of connections, and in this case we've lost a connection with one person, and we need people to be brave and stand up and do the right thing. If somebody's worried about anonymity or getting in trouble, you know, I think that we're going to do the best that we can to provide that for an individual, even if they came in and talked to us. And we go to great lengths. We have lots of crimes that are investigated where people do not know who that person is. We have training classes to seal warrants to keep people there. However, when you're dealing on a high-end, real significant case, I don't know if you can guarantee any kind of anonymity like that. And the only way somebody keeps a secret is they don't tell anybody. And right now, we don't know if there's a secret or not. We're trying to encourage people to come forth that may have information, but we don't have information that they have something negative either. And so the message shouldn't be misconstrued that we think juveniles are running around with key to success of this case. There really could be no information, but we need to get the word out there so that in the event that it is there, we will help protect people and keep them safe if they feel like they're in danger, and we'll do that to the best of our abilities. Whether they're a juvenile or an adult, we will do the same thing for them. You guys are going to get really tired of hearing from me talk, I'm sure. I'm sorry. We checked in. I believe it was confirmed we had 0 calls for service. We did have a deputy, and I believe somebody from the U.S. Forest Service was actually in the area the night of, and nobody was diverted to that for any kinds of concerns or anything. And you know, it's not illegal for kids to go camping in the woods, and obviously there's information that maybe people were doing things and drinking and potentially some drugs and things like that. I reassure everybody, at this point, we don't care about any of that. And in fact, any crime that's really committed outside of our presence, there's very limited amount of things that we can take action on. But I can tell you right now, we don't care. We just want to find Kiely. So whatever you can provide, but we did not have any calls for service regarding it.
So to answer about the tip line, I'm not sure about that. I know that the tips are flowing in. So if someone does come in with that concern, there are alternatives. Obviously not anonymous, but if you do call one of our dispatch centers, Nevada County Sheriff, Truckee, Placer, that information, or they will get transferred or their information taken down to be given to a detective to follow up. Hope that answers your question.
I think these are your questions spot on, and this is a good reason for having a community meeting, is to not miss the target audience. We'll work on getting some of our flyers and things translated because it's a fantastic idea. As far as INS, there's a huge criteria to report somebody to ICE, which is the Immigration Customs Services and whatnot. I believe Nevada County's done like 0 of them. I think there's some requirements when somebody is incarcerated, but we're still not even turning people over to immigrations and customs. We're not interested in that. We're interested in locating people, but I can't guarantee that if somebody was located and their information met that criteria that they wouldn't be deported or there wouldn't be some further action. I can't guarantee that because those circumstances could be seriously major, and I wouldn't know that ahead of time. However, that's not our concern. Our concern is filing Kiely. So for minor things and issues that people might be concerned about, most of the time, people who are here, whether legally or illegally, if they're not documented or they have family and things like that, they typically kind of know the rundown of what would get them in trouble or not. Or maybe they use a family friend that does have their papers and is squared away and doesn't have to, and that can be reported again anonymously through a third party, and they can always refuse to provide that information. And so I think there's strategies that maybe people can utilize that if they're really afraid. I had a lady yesterday come up to me and give me a third party information about an area to check. I wrote down the clue and the tip, and I basically did the same as the tip line would do. I fed it into the machine, and the folks that are tracking all the tips and everything let it in. It doesn't have to be where we're tracking everything. We want clues. So even if somebody calls up, yeah, we might have a phone number, but whatever, you can call from a store, you can call from a payphone. I mean, there's some drastic methods to take if you're really, truly afraid and need to be anonymous. I get that. If you saw something really gruesome, then I get that. I just want to say we don't have a crime scene of something like that either. I don't want people to immediately go down that awful role of humans and things like that. Somebody said it earlier, let's be positive and work towards a goal. If somebody knows something like that, I would sure hope that they would come forward. but we are looking for any and all clues, and including, if people aren't documented being afraid, there's methods I think they could utilize, and we'll work on translating some of our flyers.
I'd like to address real quick a comment that you made that I think is at the crux of this whole issue. When we become parents, right, we take on a lot of responsibility, and as kids get teenage years and phones now, there's a lot of complications that I didn't have to deal with when I was young. If your child tells you, or your kid tells you, look, I think I have something that not good, and there's also some things I might get in trouble for, that's risk. I would ask every parent to measure that to their loss right now, and put yourself in their shoes, and be courageous for them.
I do want to follow up with the tip question. My partner reminded me another alternative is the email address that has been set up. So if someone isn't able to get through, the line's clogged, you can refer them to the email address. So the question is whether or not there was one point of origin where the invite came out. There was multiple invites, via all means of media to this party. So to pinpoint one, it was multiple uses of media. Yes. So at this point, and I think we've been very honest and open with the family of where we are at with the investigation. And there are some things that we cannot talk about because it might interfere with the investigation. But what we know is that Kiely's car after 12:33 a.m. has not been seen. I can tell you that definitively. So we are following up on every lead possible. If we get information that there was a silver car matching her description seen anywhere, we're following up with that. And then, so I hope that answers your question. It's not necessarily something that we're going to update the public on, but if we do have a big find, it's going to be something significant for us that we might be putting out to the public, yes.
Bear with me here. My name's Kiely Rodni. I'm Kiely's father. I'm running on fumes here, so bear with me here. Something dawned on me this morning that, obviously our family has suffered immensely. I can't tell you what we're going through. What dawned on me this morning is Kiely is born and raised here. She is this community. She is your daughter too. She is this is our community's daughter. She is no longer just our daughter. This is your kids. These are the parties your kids are going to. We need answers, and you need answers, because when your kids become 16, where are they going to go? My daughter's a straight A student on her way to UC Santa Cruz. She's at 16. She's 16 going to college. This is Tahoe. This isn't supposed to happen here. We need answers. Remember, this Kiely is your child too. So please, anything, please, we need you.
Hi everyone. I'm just coming to you from the civilian front, from the team Kiely that's been working over there at the base camp since Sunday. Thank you everyone for all the work that you have been doing and all your volunteer services. Thank you all. Thank you. I come to you not as a good friend of the family. I come to you as a second-hand friend of a good friend of somebody. if that makes sense, decipher that. The reality is the way this community has come together, it is amazing. And I want you to know that we are going to be there every day from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. working and searching and answering questions and holding your hands while you are holding our hands. This is about hope. This is about that we keep moving forward, because one thing we know is when we sit and we are idle, what happens? Unless you're breathing and meditating, what happens? We get lost. So please, if you're like, I don't know what I can do, come down and say hi. Let us know that you're thinking of us. Do the social media pieces. Flyering, yes, we're gonna have them in Spanish. Come down, flyer that. Flyer again where it's been flyer before. Maybe you saw it over here, but we didn't see it over there, and maybe it's only two blocks away, but we can flyer. We have people going all over the area, beyond Truckee, beyond Tahoe. We can do it again. Searching, that app that we have now, amazing, right? How many great gals and guys that have been on their motorcycles, on their feet, and walking through the forest and the trails and looking for something that lets us know that Kiely is coming home, right? That's what we're doing. Once, a million times is not too much to travel those roads. We have to travel lots of roads to find truth, and so let's find the truth. Let's find Kiely. And now I'll introduce you. So we have a team. We have a team. Say that, tongue twister, team. There are 5 significant teams that have been working on this case. They have been doing the social media. They have been part of the powerhouses of what we're doing. We also have an adult team. So let's not think that we are leaving our teens on their own to be able to figure out how we find Kiely. We are all here. We are all working, right? So Kiely's going to share what is happening next for the teens for tomorrow night.
So, hi. Here, give me a second. So, yeah, as she said, I'm Sammy. I am one of the leaders of the team. Yeah, it's a tongue twister, yes. We have had a great output. Yesterday when we had the Tahoe Teen to Teen. What a teen to teen talk is no parents, no media, no cops, no adults. It's just kids talking to kids. Your kids have best friends that are their ages. Your kids are comfortable talking to their friends. And hopefully what we're trying to do is that they can come to us and they can talk to us. They can tell us what they saw. They don't have to have the pressure of these cops. They don't have the pressure of the adults. They don't have the pressure of everything else that's going on. Something else could be going on in their life, but what's important is that they know that we are there to talk. We're not trying to get them in trouble. We're not trying to tell their parents on them or get them grounded or have the police on them. We can do completely anonymous tips. Everything helps. We've had a lot of kids say that, oh, I already gave out my witness statement. That's great. These are one-on-one interviews though. These can spark anything in your mind that you might remember. And these are crucial, and we have so much more evidence, many more things to work on based off of just our one in Tahoe yesterday. And what I'm here to talk about is that tomorrow, which will be August 11th, I believe, we will be holding one in Incline. I want to make this clear that this is open to anybody that may have not gone to one yet. And you are welcome to come do Teen to Teens. Here at the rec center, we have everything set. Like, we can do Teen to Teens at any time. If you need me to drive out at 3 a.m. in the morning to meet you, I will. I will drive to people's houses. We can get you rides. We can get you there. We can talk to you anywhere you need. We just have set places so that there can be rally points. But this one's tomorrow, 8/11, like that's the date, will be held at from 5 to 7:30. You can stay later. We stayed out until 10 p.m. yesterday at Incline High School. So from 5 to 7:30 or later on August 11th at Incline High School, we will have a Teen to Teen. This is open to anybody from Reno, South Lake Tahoe, Kings Beach, Truckee, anybody who needs to, that is the rally point for tomorrow for this. Again, I want to say that you are welcome to come out and talk to us at any point. I've been doing some today. I did some yesterday. I did hundreds yesterday. I've done everything, and we really just need every teenager to come out and talk. I heard that question earlier about the deportation and ICE and everything. I don't know you. I don't have to know you. I will act like I've never seen you once before in my entire life, even if you are my best friend. I will act like this is the first time. I will take your name to jail. If they try to question me for that, I don't care. I will not give up your name. Thank you. Seriously. Yeah.
Okay. So on the app, all the data that's been collected from the time that the app was initiated, we're also collecting historical information for persons who had tracked themselves in previous days. That information is all available on that map. The greatest recommendation I would make is if you look at that map, you can see where people have not been. You have to look at yourself. You have to look at the situation. We have had incidents in the past where people have gotten themselves into areas and become hurt, and we've had to take searchers away from our search effort to go rescue them. So we want you to really look at those things and be honest with yourself if that's an area that you should be. But by looking at that map, you can see what areas need to still be checked. So we're not going to rule out any scenario. We're looking for tiny items. We are looking for Kiely, and we are looking for a vehicle.
Hi, it's me again. Okay, so just I was negligent in thanking you all. I thank everybody who's here. I thank everybody who's watching. I thank everybody who's to my right. I thank you. I think the town and the community, and I'm kind of bumbling a little bit, but just the support that we have received from everywhere, from everyone, from people who we know and love and recognize their faces, with our eyes closed, to those who we've never seen your face before, and you're just a new dear friend. Thank you for caring so much about my baby. Let's keep moving forward and let's bring her home. So yeah, okay. Now you can.
It's kind of hard to follow that up, but we do want to add that as of today, the Sheriff's Office has created a QR code for anybody who wants to submit photos or videos that they believe are pertinent to this investigation. We have set up a link on all of our social media accounts on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, in addition to in-person QR codes. As a matter of fact, there's a QR code on a piece of paper on that table in the back where we have Taylor Wolf, Nevada County PIO. She's holding it up. So please, if anybody has any information or knows anybody who has any type of information that they think may benefit us in our investigation to bringing Kiely home to her parents and her family and her friends, please, please, please tell them we have multiple modes of reporting this. And we do want to add that our Detective Sergeant Alford on the side over here is available to take any questions, or anybody who may think that they have a tip or any piece of information and they just want to pass it on, no questions asked. And with that being said, we will conclude our community meeting for this evening. Thank you so much.
You gotta see yourself in the face of your brother. See your sister as you. Let's call it us to lay our lives down for one another and leave our pride for the truth. We gotta be the change. We gotta be the change. I'm begging you to be kind, be kind, be kind. Oh, I'm begging you to be kind, be kind, be I'm begging you to be kind.